I never imagined that after all my struggles, after finally winning his heart, he'd lose his memory. Exhaustion and helplessness crashed over me like a tidal wave. My nails dug into my palms as I stared at Ethan Sullivan's pale, impassive face, forcing myself to stay calm. "You don't remember?" I asked, my voice trembling despite my efforts. Ethan lifted his gaze to meet mine. His expression was blank, save for a faint flicker of guilt in his dark eyes. "Yeah," he said simply. It was almost laughable. I'd loved him in secret since we were kids, hiding my feelings behind a careful mask. 3 years ago, emboldened by too much wine, I'd confessed. After that, I stopped holding back, pursuing him relentlessly. Begging, really, only to be rejected time and again. My heart had reached its breaking point, battered beyond repair, when he finally turned back to me. Just as I was about to give up, he chose me. And now, his memory had reset to that drunken confession before we were together. "Whether you believe me or not," I said, my voice steady despite the storm inside, "we've been together for a while." I pulled out my phone, fumbling to find proof, photos, messages, anything to jog his memory. But as I scrolled through our chat history, tears welled up and spilled over. Even when we were together, nothing had changed. I'd bent over backwards to please him, while he'd remained distant, indifferent, barely acknowledging my efforts. It felt like a hand was squeezing my heart, then letting go just enough for me to breathe. The air rushed in, easing the suffocation, and I wiped my tears with the back of my hand. I looked up at him. Ethan's long lashes cast shadows over his eyes, his expression unreadable, maybe regret, maybe something else. His voice was so soft I almost missed it. "Is that so?" I couldn't hold it in anymore. I stood abruptly, my chair scraping against the floor. "I lied," I said, the words tumbling out. "I'm sorry." I gave up. Forgetting, letting go of that old path we'd walked, it seemed like the better choice. Life doesn't offer endless 3-year chances, not for youth, and certainly not for love. Ethan's striking face, beautiful enough to turn heads, shifted, a flicker of complexity crossing his features. His lips pressed into a thin line. But he said nothing. It wasn't the reaction I'd expected, and for a moment I faltered, my mouth opening to say more, but no sound came out. He spared me the awkwardness, his usual cool detachment returning as he changed the subject. "Sit down. Why are you standing?" I shook my head, grabbing my bag. "If you don't want your parents to worry, I won't tell them. I've arranged a nurse for you. I'll visit when I can." Ethan gave a faint, and then, his sharp, narrow eyes glancing at me briefly, cool and distant. "Thanks." I didn't respond. I turned, shut the door behind me, and fled. Letting go of someone wasn't as hard as I'd thought. Maybe every rejection, every heartbreak, had been a step toward this moment, a slow surrender that finally bore fruit today. I was tired, so tired my legs felt weak. Leaning against the hospital wall, I slid down to a crouch, pressing a hand to my hollow chest. My eye stung, but I couldn't name the feeling. Ethan's hesitation hadn't gone unnoticed. I knew we could have stayed together if I'd pushed. But who could bear it? Losing something you'd fought so hard to gain was a torment too cruel to endure. I'd rather have chased him for 6 years than spend 3 finally getting what I wanted, only to find myself back at square one. I didn't think I was upset, but driving home, I was so distracted I rear-ended someone. Looking at the car 7 or 8 meters ahead, I let out a wry, silent laugh. "Sis, you hit my brand new Lambo and you're laughing?" The driver stepped out, bewildered, resting a hand on my hood as he stared at me. I looked up at him, a young guy, fair-skinned, with a boyish charm that radiated energy. The gloom weighing me down lifted instantly. Maybe that was the magic of youth. "Sorry," I said, pulling out my phone. "Give me your contact info. I'll take full responsibility." He scanned me up and down, then pressed his lips together, offering a hesitant consolation. "You're pretty. Don't do stuff like this." Before I could process his words, he turned, hopped into his car, and sped off, leaving me stunned. It took me a moment to realize he thought I was some gold digger in a rented luxury car, fishing for rich guys. Were kids these days this imaginative? I chuckled despite myself, sliding back into my car. Even miles later, the absurdity lingered. At the dealership's lounge, waiting for a ride, I spotted the same kid napping on a couch. What a coincidence. I walked over and nudged him awake. He stirred, blinking sleepily at me. "You're here." "Getting my car fixed," I said. I'm not fishing, so dial back that imagination. What's your name? Put the bill on me. Lucas Hayes, he mumbled. I nodded, about to tell the staff, when he grabbed my wrist. No need. He pulled out his phone, tapped a few times, and held up a QR code. Scan me, sis. I should have refused, but his flushed ear tips, soft dark hair, long lashes, and that hint of baby fat melted my resolve. I scanned it, adding him to my contacts. Sophie Quinn, huh? Nice name, Lucas said, raising an eyebrow with a grin that revealed 2 small tiger teeth. He had a cool, aloof vibe, long eyes with double lids, a high nose, a sharp jawline, but that bit of softness and his bright smile softened it all, making him disarmingly approachable. On impulse, I said, if you don't want me to cover the repairs, how about I treat you to dinner sometime? His brows shot up, a playful arrogance flickering in his eyes. Tonight, then. I couldn't help it, I laughed. Fine. Maybe I laughed too hard, because this tall, lanky kid blushed, biting his back teeth in a mix of embarrassment and defiance, adorable yet fierce. When my McLaren was ready, I took Lucas to dinner. He slid into the passenger seat, propping an arm on the window with a sly grin. First time riding shotgun with a girl. Sounds like you've had plenty of girls in your passenger seat, I teased, glancing at him. He was easy on the eyes, too easy, really. His ears turned red at my jab, betraying his cool exterior with a flush of innocence despite that heartbreaker face. Nope, never, he said quickly. I turned the wheel, dropping the teasing. Just as I parked at the restaurant, my mom called. Ethan's back from his trip, right? Why can't I reach him? His mom's asking me. Shit. I'd been too busy wallowing to remember Ethan's phone was busted. He lost it, I lied. We're eating now. I'll get him a new one this afternoon. Gotta go. I hung up fast, praying she wouldn't call back. Lucas watched me wide-eyed. You don't even blink when you lie, sis. Why did I feel a twinge of shame? After dinner, we passed a phone shop. I grabbed a black one, paid, and nearly bumped into Lucas as I turned. For your boyfriend? He asked, his lashes fluttering nervously. Ex, I corrected. You're this nice to exes? I tossed the phone into my car and waved him in. Where to? I'll drop you off. Send it to him first, he said, lounging in the seat with a lazy smirk, all charm and defiance. I'm not in a rush. Maybe your ex is. I laughed softly. We just broke up. I floored it, the engine roaring as we peeled out. Lucas grinned, clearly thrilled by the speed. Good. Now you'll see the next one's better. The next one? Him? I smirked but said nothing. When we reached the hospital and he moved to get out, I leaned over, pinning his seatbelt. Stay. I'll be quick. His lips twitched into a pout, displeasure written all over his face, nothing like Ethan's stoicism. But he slumped back, playing with his phone. Upstairs, Ethan sat quietly on his bed, flipping through a book, serene as ever. He glanced up at the sound of my footsteps, his eyes landing on the phone box. Thanks. I didn't reply, just swapped his shattered phone for the new one, set it up, and handed it over. His pale, elegant hand took it, and he opened. His mouth, probably to thank me again. I cut him off. You've said, thanks, more today than in the past year. What amnesia made you polite? He froze, then his flawless face softened into a rare, genuine smile that stabbed at my heart. Maybe I'd been the one making things hard for him all these years, trapping us both in the name of love. A sour ache rose in my throat. I couldn't hold it back. Gotta go, I muttered, bolting out. The door clicked shut and tears fell. I steadied myself, wiped them away, and exhaled. It's fine. Mistakes can be fixed. But why was loving someone I could have had a mistake? A mistake fate had to rewrite with something as cliché as amnesia? I wasn't just tired enough to let go, I was resentful, bitter at the unfairness of having my hard-won prize snatched away. Back in the car, I'd calmed down, but Lucas tilted his head, studying me. You've been crying? My heart skipped. Nonsense. Where to? I'll drop you off. I avoided his gaze, but from the corner of my eye, I saw his expression harden, taking on a faint echo of Ethan's coolness that twisted my stomach. I hit the gas, speeding off. No need, he said. Drop me wherever. I'll figure it out. His thoughtfulness spared me the role of chauffeur. I nodded, heading toward my office. Days blurred by at work. I didn't even go home, burying myself in projects. When I finally closed the files, that hollow unease crept back until my mom called. Sophie Quinn. Ethan's in an accident, and you hit it. How'd you know? I can't know. If I hadn't gone with your dad for his checkup, how long were you planning to keep this up? Get over here. Our parents knew about Ethan and me. I didn't want him pressured into staying with me out of confusion or obligation, not what I wanted for him or myself. I burst into his room, breathless, to find him sitting calmly on the bed, surrounded by our parents' concerned chatter. Sophie's here, my mom said brightly. She can look after Ethan. They'd only ever seen the gentle, caring Ethan I'd painted for them, oblivious to my years of silent heartbreak. She's had a long day, Ethan's mom chimed in, her smile warm. It's not a big deal. There's a nurse. Let them have some time, then Sophie can rest. When they left, I approached him. Didn't you say it was a lie? He asked, his tone flat, eyes unreadable. I grabbed an apple and started peeling it. And you? Don't you want it to be a lie? Silence stretched between us. I handed him the apple with a faint laugh, about to speak, when he said, if I agreed back then, I've got no reason to back out now. His calm unnerved me. Are you willing? I asked, my voice lighter than I felt. Be honest. Without those 3 years of me chasing you, you're petty and haven't peaked. Are you okay settling for me? Ethan's deep eyes flickered, a rare crack in his composure. Sophie, I just don't remember. That sliver of tenderness shattered me. My defenses crumbled, and I choked out the truth. You don't love me. I couldn't start over from scratch. I shoved my phone into his hands, our chat history open. He scrolled slowly, then looked up, lips tight with frustration and guilt. I'm sorry. No one should apologize for not loving someone, I said, shaking my head. I wiped my tears, forcing a smile. Rest up. You're fine now. I'll pick you up when you're discharged. Don't feel bad. I fled, unable to linger. Forcing myself to let go hurt, but I didn't dare look back. Last time I drove in a daze, I'd crashed and shelled out a fortune for repairs. This time, I crawled along, cautious. At a light, my phone pinged. Sis, what a coincidence. Curious, I opened it and saw a look behind you. I turned. Lucas waved lazily from his car window, his pale arm catching the light. In my tangled, weary life, who gets excited over a chance encounter? Most people duck away, choosing solitude. But that moment, his coincidence, lifted my spirits. He called. Heading to play pool with friends. Join us? He'd asked me out plenty of times lately. I dodged every one. But his persistence was boundless, and it was only 9 early enough. Why not? Lucas sped ahead, and I followed. Inside the dimly lit room, a handful of kids his age lounged on couches. Suddenly, I felt old. Holy shit, Lucas, where'd you find such a hot sis? Got more. A lanky guy in a blue tee jumped up, slinging an arm toward Lucas, who dodged with a smug wag of his finger. One of a kind. Cocky, playful, it made me smile. When they started playing, I leaned against the wall, sipping a drink, watching Lucas's lean frame as he lined up a shot. A dark impulse stirred, not love, but a need to vent, to purge the frustration boiling inside. I downed my drink, suppressing it. Let's play, I said. His eyes lit up, tiger teeth flashing. I love winning. I chalked my cue. Good. I'll let you. The room erupted in teasing cheers. Ethan loved pool, and I trained with a pro to keep up with him, nearly went pro myself. Lucas was good, though. I slipped up, and since he loved winning, I didn't fight it. He took the game. He leaned on his cue under the lights, eyes glinting with triumph as his friends hooped. That spark ignited something in me, a release from the gloom Ethan's accident had left behind. I wanted salvation, or to drag someone into my abyss. Lucas, I'm not a good person. I warned you. Did you let me win, sis? He asked, stepping close, his breath light, his face alight with joy, happy either way. I'd taken a liking to him, so I met his gaze and smiled. If I did, do I get a reward? He blinked, eyes widening, softening his usual edge. What do you want? Those eyes, sharp and distant when narrowed, warm and boyish when wide, struck me. I beckoned him closer. He leaned in, and I pressed a soft kiss to his cheek. This'll do. He jolted upright, hand flying to his face, staring at me as his ears blazed red. You. Before he could finish, my phone rang. I grabbed it from my bag, Ethan. The heat in my chest cooled instantly, like a splash of water. You left your keys at the hospital, he said. I checked my bag. The garage key was gone, but I had a spare. Keep it there. I'll grab it when I pick you up. His breath hitched, then he murmured, okay. Hanging up, I realized it was the first time I'd chosen not to see him when I had an excuse. I zoned out until Lucas's warm hand settled on my shoulder. He leaned in, breath brushing my ear. You're too good to your ex-phone pickup. Are all sisters like this? Jealousy dripped from his tone. I sidestepped with a tease. Yep, that's me. Like it? He turned me to face him, brows knitting. I've got no exes, and you're still tangled with yours. Like it my ass. I froze. Too long, maybe, because he dropped his hand, looking away, awkward. Doesn't matter if you don't change. Petulance laced his voice, and I caught the hurt beneath it. I'll change, I said. Not for him, for me. No more clinging to Ethan's shadow. I drank heavily that night, deliberately numbing myself with alcohol. It let me sidestep guilt and take Lucas home. His kisses, hot, reverent, landed on my neck. His deft fingers stirred me, but as I clutched the sheets, Ethan's face flashed in my mind, a sharp pang cutting through. I pushed Lucas away without thinking. His eyes, hazy with desire, softened with concern. Did I hurt you? His voice was rough, cautious, vulnerable like me. My resolve cracked. No, I lied, avoiding his gaze. Let's stop. We're both drunk. I'm sober, he insisted, firm yet strained. Our eyes locked. His clenched jaw, his restraint, it overwhelmed me. I leaned in, nipping his throat. The night blurred into his retaliation for my earlier pause, playful, relentless. Morning came, and I woke to him propped on an elbow, staring. I tossed his shirt at him. Put it on. He scowled, flicking it away. Dirty. Gonna streak then? He grinned, shameless. If you don't mind. I swallowed a get out and turned away. Stay there. I'll grab you clothes. He sneaked up, arms circling my waist, lips brushing my ear. So thoughtful, sis. Heat flared. I braced my aching back and shoved him off. Back to bed. Startled by my snap, he blinked, a tuft of hair sticking up adorably. I laughed, heading out. I returned with clothes and breakfast, tossing them at him. Eat. He stared, brow raised. What? He whispered something scandalous in my ear, and my face burned. Wear it and go home to change. I snapped, mortified. Dropping him off, I waited by the window. He unbuckled but didn't move, just watched me. Out, I said. I've got work. His face darkened. He stepped out, stormed off, then spun back, grabbed my face and kissed me hard. Panting, he glared. Don't act like you're dropping off a fling. I laughed, charmed by his outburst. Got it. Go. Driving away, my grip tightened on the wheel. Not a fling, what then? Boyfriend? I licked my lips, leaving it undefined. Picking Ethan up from the hospital, he sat on a couch, legs crossed, reading in a pool of sunlight, angelic, if not for those eyes. He looked up, and I almost mistook it for warmth. Let's go, I said, shattering the illusion. He was quiet until we neared his place. Where have you been? Work, I said absently, turning a corner. The air grew heavy. I glanced at him, his perfect features tight, lips pale. What's wrong? He arched a brow, relaxing. Nothing. Thanks for this. Dinner tomorrow. Tomorrow, Lucas had begged me out after days of sulking over my cancellations. I've got plans, I said. Ethan paused, then nodded, distant. Another time. I watched him go, smiling faintly. Another time meant never with him, same old Ethan, amnesia or not. At Lucas's chosen restaurant, the dim lighting screamed clandestine. He lounged, scrolling his phone, his face cold under the glow until he saw me. His eyes sparked, then flattened. Hard to pin you down, sis. Ghost me after hooking up. Busy, I said, and my chest twinged, Ethan's old excuse. Before his mood soured, I grabbed his hand, softening. Sorry, no more. Want me that bad? Come to my office. His grin bloomed, cocky. I'm busy too. Fine, when you're free. Later, my childhood friend Miles Carter called. Come to my winery. Ethan was hospitalized, and you didn't say shit. Celebrating his discharge? Nah, your breakup. Miles chuckled, voice hushed like he was sneaking the call. I turned the car, laughing. Not exactly a party-worthy event. He hummed, unconvinced but unwilling to argue, probably thought I'd escaped a trap. He lost 3 years of memory, I said, flooring it, the rush mirroring my racing heart. What? Miles's shock carried a hint of dread. Annoyed by his dramatics, I hung up. At the winery, someone ribbed Ethan about his memory making him younger. I smirked. Ethan could lose a decade and still outmature them. Ballsy to tease him, though. Miles waved me over, gossip in his eyes. Sophie, I watched you pine for him. Give him time. 1 minute celebrating, now playing peacemaker? I bristled, sipping my wine. You saw me suffer. Why is he your friend and I'm not? Why should I wait? I kept my voice low, avoiding a scene. Miles went quiet, then offered lamely, he likes you. Bullshit, I snapped, louder than intended. Ethan's gaze flicked to me, cool, empty. That was liking me? Miles arranged for Ethan to drive me home since he wasn't drinking. I shot him a glare, asshole. In the car, I leaned back, eyes closed. Didn't you have plans? Ethan asked, reversing. Wrapped up early. Miles called. Ended quick. What else? I replied, not meaning to challenge him, but he took it that way. Sophie. His tone was low, displeasure clear. Snapped out of my haze, I licked my lips. I've got something to say. Go on, he said, cold, focused ahead. His chill fueled me. I've got a boyfriend. He told everyone we were done. Surely he wanted distance too. The brakes screeched, the car jerking to a stop. He turned, face icy. What? His pallor was alarming. Ethan never lost control like this. My heart pounded, guilt creeping in. We're over, right? And you forgot. I chased you 3 years, 3 to get you. Together or not, it had never felt real. 3 years short didn't cover it. His eyes narrowed, a bitter smile twisting his lips. His knuckles whitened on the wheel. Do what you want. He sped off, over the limit, in my car. The mood was rotten, and I didn't get it. His memory had rewound. Graduation night, I'd gotten plastered and banged on Ethan's door, reeking of booze. He leaned on the frame, frowning, his voice a cool stream sobering me. Sophie Quinn. He was off to study abroad. I'd stay behind, unable to trail him anymore. If I didn't speak now, the future would slip away. I stumbled forward, hooking my arms around his neck. He caught my waist. Ethan. I wasn't that drunk, liquid courage masked my shame. I knew he'd say no, but loving him meant trying anyway. He shut the door, easing me onto the couch, then turned for water. I grabbed his wrist. Don't go. Just getting water, he said, cold but somehow tender. That hint of softness emboldened me. I like you, Ethan. Silence. He pried my hand off. You're drunk. A gentle rejection, a step down. I forced my eyes open, staring. I'm not. I've liked you since I knew what liking was. He went still, fingers curling, lashes lowering, hesitant, annoyed. Pity or reluctance, I didn't care. I wanted a chance to love him openly. Let me chase you. Please? Tears blurred my plea. His dark gaze softened, and he sighed. Fine. Joy drowned me. I needed to hear it again, but he'd already gone for water. I sipped what he brought, heart racing, terrified he'd hear it. I'll take you home, he said, heading out. I followed, basking in the quiet night, the warm streetlights. We lived in the same complex, a choice I now regretted as we arrived too soon. Good night, I said, staring. His sharp eyes softened, a faint nod. I watched him disappear into the elevator, giddy. I didn't sleep. Dawn broke before I dozed off, waking late. Day 1 post-confession, I wore a fitted red dress, did my makeup and called him. Wanna hang out? No, I'm working with my advisor. A glass clinked, him in glasses, focused, cold. My heart melted. I'll bring food, cook for you. A pause, he almost refused, but remembered last night. Okay. His shift thrilled me. I shopped, buzzing, and knocked. He answered in gray, softening his edge, taking my bags to the kitchen. He washed veggies with practiced ease. Watching, I daydreamed of marriage, sweet and silly. I'll do it, I offered. Together, he said, not looking up. Even better, domestic. The meal was perfect, the best I'd ever tasted. That summer, he worked. I started at the company, still finding time for him, cooking, walks. Then he left for the States. Distance was a beast. An unloving man doesn't bother with texts. I waited, hurt, let go seeing, sorry, missed that, busy, just finished a lab. To cope, I flew to him 172 times in 3 years. His graduation, I brought flowers, spotting him in the sun, godlike. I let go. Loving him didn't mean having him. Congrats, I said, shoving the bouquet at him. He smiled, warm, bewitching. I caved. 3 years. Be with me? Last time I'll ask. Unexpectedly, he agreed. Okay. Shock outstripped joy. I clutched my dress. He grabbed my hand, lacing our fingers. Still nervous? His rare tease eased me. Joy hit, and I kissed him quick. His eyes darkened, ears red. But fate disagreed, resetting us. We're here, Ethan said, voice frigid. I nodded dazedly, unbuckling. As I stepped out, he called, Sophie. I turned. He frowned, words lost in irritation. 3 years ago, I'd been a burden to him, tasteless to keep, wasteful to toss. I gripped the door, laughing softly. Ethan, even God thinks we're wrong, giving us a redo. Why hesitate? Move on. Don't make me sad. Realizing what I'd been to him hurt. Hungover, I skipped work. My phone rang. Sis, just woke up missing you, Lucas purred, sleepy sweet. I smiled, I shut. Come over. Bring breakfast. His voice turned syrupy, lifting my mood. I bathed, pampered myself, and he arrived as I finished. I opened the door to bags of food. I can't eat all this, I grumbled. Taste each one, he said. Ridiculous rich kid. His arm snaked around my waist, pulling me close. You smell good, sis. Call me a rich kid, wanna serve me. Get lost, I snapped, biting my tongue as he kissed me. He ate first, I followed. Young guys, endless energy. After that day with Ethan, I'd lightened, embracing Lucas's fire instead of dodging it. Leaving Chanel hand in hand, I saw Ethan and yanked my hand free. Why? I couldn't face either's reaction, guilt or fear choking me. Ethan approached, glancing at me, unreadable. I felt small. He passed, and Lucas stepped back, leaning on a railing, cold and furious. He waited. I faltered. It was reflex. No thought, no intent. He cut me off, sneering. X? Can't let go, so you mess with me? Anger flared, and he stormed off, fleeing. It wasn't that. I was letting go. A week of silence. I hovered over Lucas's contact, never texting. Post Ethan, I held back with everyone. Drunk on my couch, bottle in hand, the doorbell rang. I stumbled to it, Lucas. Thinner, haggard, yet stunning. His vulnerability begged to be wrecked or to wreck me. You couldn't even coax me? One word. His voice broke, soft and whiny. I threw myself into his arms, hugging tight. Lucas, every time I upset you, I'll make it right. Okay. Why not just not upset me? 3 knots, each heavier, needier, his grip firm yet gentle. I could. His surrender, his choice, healed years of doubt, groveling, self-denial. That night, his passion burned hotter, restrained. I cupped his face under the lamp, meeting his wet, tender gaze. I like you. A beat, then wild joy. He stayed days. Applying oil, I said, move in. Pack your stuff. What? His voice was faint. Through the mirror, his wide eyes begged. If you don't want to. I do, he cut in, ears red, heart filling mine. All was well, until Ethan texted, come down. Parking lot. Dread hit. I slid into his car, eyeing his stony profile. What? His lashes flickered. I remember. I blinked, then nodded. Good. His eyes narrowed, voice a cold gift. Sophie, I never wanted to end it. Resentment flared. Then I did. Defiant for once, my heart raced. I'm good with him. I'll introduce you sometime. His face darkened, hand seizing my chin, arrogant, raw beneath his polish. Love had been diving into that despite knowing him. Now, unmasked, it offended me. Before I could frown, he let go, composure back. No need to spite me. I like you. Years without those words, now casual. I faltered. I don't anymore. I'm not mad, just done. Loving him too long, I'd forgotten myself. With Lucas, I'd learned mutual love mattered. Out, he said, pale, barely steady. I unbuckled, stepping out, but he yanked me back. Sophie, you chased me, provoked me, why ditch me too? His red-rimmed eyes held pained beauty I'd never seen. Sorry, I whispered. I don't want sorry. His grip tightened, stinging. I stared at his white-knuckled hand, thinking of Lucas. He'd have stopped, apologized. That was why. Prying him off, I rubbed my wrist. I'm sorry for years of pestering, not for leaving now. I walked away, fast, tears falling despite no regrets. I didn't wipe them, lest he think I still cared. I thought it was clear, but fetching a package, I saw Ethan on his car hood, dark against dark. I'd always spot him, even after letting go. Clutching the box, I approached. Why were you here? Why don't you like me anymore? He murmured, puzzled. Before I answered, his gaze hit my neck, marks from Lucas. His face flushed, red, desperate, mesmerizing. His cold fingers rubbed them, voice hoarse. Tell me nothing happened. No thrill, no pity, just calm. Ethan, we're over. Long over. Over, ignited him. His sculpted face twisted, gorgeous, cruel. No. I recalled Zoe Allen, his old crush, his warmth for her obvious, though they never dated. I'd secretly rejoiced when she moved on. My jealousy then mirrored him now. It hurt for him, for me. You're just unwilling to lose me after I loved you so long. That's not love. Remember Zoe? I envied her. I couldn't say it. Don't deny me, he pleaded, lashes wet. I made liking you a habit. A habit? A thorn stabbed my chest, bleeding silently. I turned, done with wounding talks, my life was good now. He grabbed me, arms tight, chin on my shoulder. Start over. I gripped his wrist, but a figure emerged from the stairwell, Lucas, frozen, then fleeing. He wouldn't even ask. Tears burned. Ethan, I asked to chase you back then. Now respect me. I say no, leave me alone. His hold slackened. I glanced, his vibrant eyes dulled, face lifeless, a perfect, empty statue. I ran after Lucas. He'd be hiding, crying. Winter bit, snowless but frigid, yet chasing him warmed me. He hadn't gone far, like a sulky pup staying close. At a convenience store, he sat, eyes red, beers at his feet, drawing shy glances from girls nearby. I crouched, snatching his beer. Let's go home. Got room for me? He reached for it. I held firm. He glared, wet and wronged. I sipped, then kissed him, passing the drink. Back home, I'll feed you these. All of M. His ears reddened, a grudging whine. Not impossible. I laughed at the girls' shocked faces, pulling him up. He stood, stalking off. I followed, beers in hand. Hey, I didn't agree to my ex. I like young guys. He stopped, face stormy. When I'm old. I handed him the beers, kissing him quick. I'll only like the young guy named Lucas Hayes. At the stairs, Ethan lingered. Lucas's eyes flared, red-rimmed but mischievous. Sis, I want to kiss you. Now. I hooked his neck without hesitation. Snow fell, first snow, kissing my love. Nothing beat it. Upstairs, he pinned me to the door, then cared for me gently. Youth knew love instinctively. The moon glared. I rose to shut the curtains, spotting Ethan in the snow. My hand tightened. Lucas, text him from my phone. Tell him to go. I couldn't watch my once-cherished Ethan freeze, but Lucas's feelings mattered too. Sure, he chirped, gleeful. Ethan drove off. I closed the curtains. Lucas pulled me in, pinching my cheek. You didn't delete him. I saw. I covered his jealous eyes. I'll like you more every day. He paused, nuzzling my neck, soft and pouty. No need. Just keep liking me. I hurt for you. Okay. Later, erasing Ethan's traces, my pitiful past, I saw Lucas's texts. Bro, sis is tired. You don't care enough, expect her to rush you to the hospital at midnight. Then, I'll treat her better than she did you. I kept that last line. Someone pitted my scars, and it was Lucas.